Well, usually in Jordan fights, he starts well and he doesn't finish well. He's been knocked out 5 times. He's lost 2 of his last 3, both by KO. And he's the smaller man. The bigger man, Porter, junior middleweight most of his career, started out at super middleweight, 165 pounds. Jordan has been a welterweight most of his career, just moved up to junior middleweight in his last 4. Porter, to me, his greatest asset is his speed. I know everyone's saying power, and I think he's going to score a knockout here. I'd be shocked if Jordan goes more than 3 rounds here.
That's it.
Yeah, I really would be, but, you know, Jordan, again, the early part is usually the best part for him. But I just don't know how tall he can stay. Already you see Mr. Porter starting to get close to the taller man. And there's a thin body. You know, everyone looks at the height and says, well, that's a great physical asset and maybe advantage for Jordan. But with that height, there's usually a skinny body.
That's right. Very nice, inviting, long, lean target to the body.
And Porter can attack that body. And again, I think it's the speed of Porter that impresses me, not his power. I think some of that's been attached to the light opposition he's been fighting so far in his career. You know, he has been in soft.
Teddy, I want to ask you about this because we also saw another disadvantage of being 6'2" going up against a 5'7" fighter moments ago, because when they came on the inside, there was a clash of heads. But the clash took place so low with Jordan that it was the top of Porter's head hitting the nose of Jordan, coming up into his face.
Well, I think so far you see a little bit with Porter. And that's evidence, you're right, Joe, that's evidence that Jordan gives up his height. He tilts forward like that. He leans into punches instead of staying out of range to make it more difficult for the shorter guy. He makes it easier for the shorter guy. But I think Porter's a little over-anxious in front of his home crowd here. Maybe trying right now for the knockout too much. And he's overshooting his target a little bit.
Randy Jarvis said, the referee, don't get me involved. Make it a good night. Unfortunately, the strategy of Jordan looks to be when Porter jumps to the inside, he very much will get Jarvis involved, as he will tie up time and time again.
Well, again, I don't think Porter's a great puncher. He might score a knockout, but to me, his speed is his best asset, and he's a rhythm fighter. He bounces a lot. If you watch him, he kind of gets a little bit of a rocking going on, sort of a boxing back and forth, bouncing back and forth, kind of like waves coming at you at the shore, and then all of a sudden he jumps in at you.
When we talked to Russell Jordan yesterday and we asked him about his strategy against Porter, that was one of the first things he brought up. He says, listen, I've noticed that the guy bounces a lot. What I want to do is I want to be first. When he's bouncing, I want to jab, 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 get close, and do something.
Yeah, the bad thing about Porter bouncing, and you see him bouncing already, getting ready for that rhythm again. There he is, bouncing in and out. Sometimes you can, sort of like waves I just talked about, you can time a wave, you can time one of the bounces by Porter.
End of 1.
Joe, you brought up a good point. A tall man should never get head-butted. Well, the tall man right there, Mr. Jordan, gets head-butted. Watch why. He becomes small. He bends down to the level and the height of the smaller Porter. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous where you can get cut, like we just saw with the clash of noggins there. But it's more dangerous that you bring yourself into the punching position and level of Porter.
That taller man is 6'2", Russell Jordan. You see the punches in round 1 according to CompuBox. Porter landing 11 of 57. He is the unbeaten junior middleweight prospect, the local favorite here in Cleveland. Maybe a little anxious under the bright TV lights in his first televised main event in front of the home fans.
Jordan has been knocked out 4 times in his last 7 fights, 5 times in his career. And again, the greatest, maybe the weakest point of Jordan is his body. You look at him, he's tall, he's skinny. Well, he's not durable. He has not been a durable fighter through his career of 7.5 years.
Let him go. Look, you're holding it. Let him go. Let's go.
What is Jordan? He's a southpaw. He's tall, he's long, and he steps in when he should be stepping out. Right now, he's trying to step out and trying to do what we talked about in the fight plan. Catch Porter coming in with maybe the best punch that a southpaw can throw, a right hook, where the orthodox fighter doesn't see it coming.
There was a short right hand that time as Porter got to the inside against Jordan.
Good news, Porter got inside, Joe. Bad news, he didn't stay there.
That's right, he could have worked some more.
Yeah, if you're the shorter guy, why the heck would you work like a son of a gun to get in and not stay there? Go back outside where you got to work to get in again. Like right there, stay in.
And this time he does, as he puts forth 4 punches that time. And once again, Jordan dipping his head and giving up his height. There was almost another clash of heads in the midst of that exchange.
And again,
Joe, right hand to the body.
Joe, I know I'm not in the court of law, but if I was a lawyer, Exhibit A. See these punches? I don't think Porter, he's going to get a knockout, I think, tonight, and maybe 3 or 4 rounds, I believe. And we'll stay and we'll find out. But he's not the kind of puncher that his record tells you. His speed is there, and he...
Oh, there's that right hook, Teddy. You called it. You said, watch out for the dangerous punch. It's the right hook, and Porter staggers back.
Yeah, for a southpaw, that's the danger zone, Joe, because orthodox fighters are not used to seeing that punch come from that angle.
Anything can happen at any moment, and just when Shawn Porter was in complete control, reining in headshots, all of a sudden Jordan turns things around with a right hook.
And don't forget the one thing that we've always said on this air, with tall, skinny guys that look like they need a meal, like Jordan. They usually can punch. They get leverage in their punches.
And now it's Porter who's tying up a bit as we come to the end of round 2. What an exciting round here. Round number 2 that included an offensive onslaught from Shawn Porter, only to see Jordan come back.
And again, there's the right hook, stumbling Mr. Porter back. Take another look at it. See, that's the difference right there. Watch the right hook again. And you can see a couple reasons why it landed. First of all, Porter did not have his glove up. Should have that left hand up when you're on the inside.
Put your hands down like that. Yes, sir.
Shawn Porter, his father Ken Porter, you saw the feature piece talking about the life and what hardships Ken Porter had to overcome.
Well, Joe, we know why he got caught that punch. He got caught that punch because his left hand was down. We'll take another look right here. Left hand down, head in the middle, didn't get his head into a good defensive position, he gets caught. But let me tell you why there wasn't a knockdown there. Because Jordan did not throw a combination. That is where you hurt yourself when you have an opportunity, when you throw 1 punch instead of 2.
And the southpaw should have been following that up with a left cross there, Teddy, right? And I mean, took so 2, 3, 4, see what sticks, right?
Exactly, especially when you're the big underdog. You know, Coach Mangini can tell you that when you're going in as the underdog, you have to take advantage of your opportunities more so than in normal circumstances. You're an underdog for a reason.
And to your point, Teddy, if you looked at that slow-mo replay we just showed you moments ago and you said to yourself, wow, I'm surprised he even stayed up. Porter barely got his right leg back to support himself. Even if it wasn't a clean punch that landed, he may have scored a knockdown there just by following up after that right hook.
Exactly, because his base, his foundation, you make a good point. Porter's foundation was not there. He may have been clear-headed if he went down, but it still would have been a 10-8 round nonetheless for Jordan, and he can use that. He's going to need to get a lead early because I think he's going to have to survive late.
And remember, this is a veteran journeyman in Russell Jordan, a southpaw, hasn't fought in 17 months. When he has stepped up to the next level, he's been knocked